The city was dead. Smoke rose from broken towers, and fire lit the sky. The streets were silent, covered in ash, metal, and blood. Nothing moved. No voices, no machines. Only the cold wind whispered between ruins. Above, huge alien ships hovered like dark clouds. Their lights blinked slowly, scanning what was left of Earth. The war was over. The aliens had won. Their soldiers walked through the ruins with pride. They laughed in their strange language and celebrated their easy victory. Earth had fallen faster than they expected. No great resistance. No final defense. Humanity had been weak. Or so they thought. A small figure moved through the rubble. Quiet. Calm. Not afraid. It was a human, wearing dark armor, half burnt and scratched. He walked with a slight limp but didn't stop. His name was Commander Rourke. His helmet visor was cracked, his left arm wrapped in cloth. But his eyes were sharp, focused. The aliens didn't notice him at first. They had stopped looking for survivors. The war was finished in their minds. Earth was now theirs. They had destroyed the cities, shut down the satellites, and taken control of every major base. There was nothing left. Rourke walked past a dead drone, its lights still blinking. He picked up a small chip from its remains and inserted it into a slot on his wrist device. A quiet beep confirmed the connection. The device on his back, a small black capsule, started glowing faintly. He kept walking. Soon, a patrol saw him. 3 alien guards stood near a broken transport. One of them pointed. Another raised a weapon. They shouted something in their language. Rourke stopped. He raised both hands. No weapons. No threat. They surrounded him, laughing. He didn't fight. He let them take him. At the alien command post, built inside the ruins of an old human base, Rourke was brought before the alien general, a tall creature with silver armor and red eyes. His name was Vakreth. He had destroyed half of Earth's cities with his command. He looked down at Rourke with curiosity. "You are the last?" Vakreth asked in broken English. Rourke didn't answer. The alien slammed his fist into the table. "Answer." Rourke looked up slowly. His voice was rough but steady. "You think you've won." Vakreth leaned forward. "We have. Your people are gone. Your armies are gone. Your world is ours." Rourke smiled, just a little. "You didn't fight the army," he said. "You fought. A scout." The alien paused. "What?" Rourke leaned back, as much as the chains would allow. "You destroyed our surface, our buildings, our noise, but the real force isn't on Earth." Vakreth narrowed his eyes. "You're lying." "No," Rourke replied. "I was sent here to test you, to map your strength, to see how far you'd go. And now, I've seen enough." Suddenly, the capsule on Rourke's back beeped loudly. Red lights flashed. The aliens panicked. "Get it off him." But it was too late. The capsule released a wave of energy, invisible to the eye, but strong enough to pass through every alien scanner, every shield, every wall. A signal. Short, sharp, direct. It raced into the sky, beyond the clouds, beyond the stars. A signal to someone, or something. Rourke looked at Vakreth one last time. "You should have killed me when you had the chance." The capsule exploded with a burst of light. Not fire, not heat, but static energy. The entire base shut down. Lights off. Systems dead. Aliens shouted in confusion. And in the chaos, Rourke vanished. Outside, in the sky above Earth, a hidden satellite turned toward deep space. Its long-dead systems came to life. A coded message blinked across its dark screen. "Scout report complete. Begin Phase 2. Far away, on the edge of the solar system, something answered. A fleet, silent, black, massive. Human ships. Not old ships from Earth's broken armies, but new ones, built in the shadows, hidden in deep space. powered by unknown energy. Their engines lit up like stars. Inside the lead ship, a captain received the signal. He stood tall, eyes locked on the screen. "Commander Rourke completed his mission," he said. Another officer nodded. "And the enemy believes they've won." "Good," the captain replied. "Then they won't see us coming." Behind them, row after row of soldiers stood ready. Men, women, enhanced humans, AI pilots, drones, and more. Earth was not destroyed. Earth had only gone quiet. Waiting. Training. Planning. Now, it was time. Back on Earth, the aliens searched the ruins for Rourke, but he was gone. They didn't know where he went or how he escaped. Vakreth stood in the broken control room, staring at the empty chains. His victory tasted sour now. He whispered to himself, if that was a scout, what's coming next? The answer would arrive soon, and it would not be kind. Dark clouds circled above the ruined Earth base. The alien general, Vakreth, stood in silence. His soldiers were shouting, searching the wreckage, scanning the area with glowing devices, but none of them could find the human. Commander Rourke had vanished. The energy burst from his device had damaged every system in the base. Communications were broken. Shields were down. Even the Reaper drones, the aliens' most powerful machines, had shut off for several minutes. It was a small moment, but it caused a ripple of fear across the alien ranks. Vakreth replayed the human's words in his mind. "You didn't fight the army. You fought a scout." At first, he thought it was a trick, a lie told by a desperate man. But now, he wasn't so sure. In the command chamber, Vakreth ordered the tech team to scan the remains of Rourke's armor and equipment. A group of engineers carefully laid out each piece. One device was still glowing, a black chip with blue lines that pulsed like a heartbeat. "We don't recognize this technology," one engineer said. "It's not from Earth's old systems. It's something else." Vakreth narrowed his eyes. "Try to open it." They connected the chip to their systems. A bright flash lit up the room, and strange code filled the screens. Alien symbols twisted into Earth languages, then shifted again into something unknown. A message played through the speakers, not a voice, but a low hum, like a machine breathing. Then suddenly, one word appeared on every screen in bold letters. "Observe." A hologram activated. It showed space, stars, planets. Then, a fleet. Massive ships floating in the darkness. Human ships. Advanced. Silent. Powerful. They weren't near Earth. They were far beyond the solar system. The aliens in the room gasped. This wasn't Earth's broken fleet. This was something new. "Impossible," one whispered. Vakreth said nothing. He stared at the ships, his mind racing. If this was real, then they had made a huge mistake. They had assumed Earth was weak. They believed humans were unorganized, broken, and finished. But this fleet, it was built in secret, hidden from the war, waiting. And now it was coming. Suddenly, one of the screens cracked. Sparks flew. The entire control room went dark again. Then the lights returned, red and flashing. A warning. Several alien outposts on Mars and Luna had gone silent. No signals, no reports, just gone. Vakreth turned to his officer. "Send a scout team." "I already did," the officer said, voice shaking. "They haven't returned." Panic began to grow in the alien ranks. Some said Earth had ghosts. Others said the humans were using new weapons. Even the bravest soldiers started to feel fear. Far beneath the Earth, in the tunnels where Rourke had disappeared, movement stirred. Machines long buried began to hum. Lights blinked on. Ancient doors opened. Rourke had not run away. He had gone deeper. He walked through dark corridors, his armor repaired by nanobots. The signal he sent had done more than call for help. It had also awakened Earth's hidden defenses. He stopped in front of a large door. It had no lock, only a hand scanner. He placed his hand on the panel. It glowed. A voice, calm and mechanical, spoke. "Welcome back, Commander Rourke. Access granted." The door opened. Inside was a small control center, untouched by war. Screens showed hidden satellites in orbit, secret drone factories, underground cities. Humanity was not gone. It had moved. Quietly. Rourke sat in the command chair. Send the next wave. High above, alien ships noticed something strange. Earth's old satellites, once dead, began to move. They linked together, formed a network. Then, a sudden flash. One alien ship exploded. Another lost power. The sky above Earth began to change. Vakareth received the report. His hands clenched into fists. "They're striking back," he growled. "No," whispered the tech officer beside him. "They never stopped. We just never saw it." In deep space, the human fleet accelerated. Commander Rourke's message had reached them. Each ship received full tactical data on alien positions, weaknesses, and supply lines. Back on Earth, Rourke smiled as he watched a hologram of the enemy's confusion. "They thought I came to fight," he said to himself, "but I came to learn." The aliens scrambled to understand what was happening. Systems failed. Command lines broke. One by one, their bases went dark. In their moment of victory, they had stopped watching. That was their first mistake. And Earth never gave second chances. In deep space, far beyond the planets, something huge moved in the darkness. A fleet of ships, silent, black, and built with human hands, turned slowly toward Earth. No lights blinked. No signals were sent. They were invisible to the alien scanners. This was Earth's real army. Inside the lead ship, a woman stood on the command deck. Her name was Admiral Rena Hale. She wore a dark coat with silver marks on the shoulders. Her eyes were calm, but sharp, like someone who had waited a long time for this moment. "Signal confirmed," an officer said. Commander Rourke completed his mission. "The alien command thinks they've won." Rena gave a slow nod. "Good. Then they're not watching the sky." The bridge lights dimmed. All crew members turned to their stations. Hundreds of humans, working like one machine. Not broken, not lost. Focused. Commander Rourke had been more than a soldier. He was a test. A live scout sent to find out how the enemy thought. How they'd fought. How proud they were. He had walked into their hands on purpose, and they had believed they captured the last human. That was exactly what Earth wanted them to think. While aliens celebrated their so-called victory, the real human strategy had already begun. Years ago, after the first alien attacks, Earth knew it couldn't win in a normal war. The enemy was too fast, too advanced. So the world leaders made a hard choice. They gave up the surface. They went underground and into deep space. In silence, they began building. The surface war was a distraction. The real power was hidden in space and beneath the ground. It was called Operation Phoenix. Back in the underground control room, Rourke watched as drone units launched from secret bunkers. These drones weren't old machines. They were new, AI-driven, fast, and silent. They moved like shadows and struck like lightning. One by one, alien bases across Earth began to fail. Power cut. Systems hijacked. Alarms disabled. Rourke stood in the center of the command circle, his armor repaired, his body stronger than ever. He tapped his wrist device and spoke to the fleet above Earth. "This is Commander Rourke. Phase 2 is live. Begin low-orbit push." From the dark clouds above, black triangles broke through the sky. Human stealth ships, covered in reflective armor, dropped silently. Alien guards looked up, too late. The ships didn't fire bombs. They dropped EMP pods that fried every alien system nearby. Alien weapons died in their hands. Alien eyes widened with fear. They thought Earth had nothing left. Now Earth was everywhere. Admiral Hale gave the next order. Initiate Tempest pattern. Attack. Vanish. Repeat. Across the planet and the solar system, small human attack teams appeared, struck key targets, and disappeared again. The aliens didn't know where to defend. They chased shadows and shot at ghosts. Their systems couldn't track human tech anymore. Rourke's signal had passed every piece of alien data to the fleet: codes, patrol routes, weapon frequencies. They were blind now. On the moon, alien base Delta 3 suddenly exploded from the inside. A message appeared on their broken screens. "We are not gone. We are watching. We are coming." Vakareth, the alien general, stared at the endless list of failing systems. Mars base, silent. Europa outpost, gone. Jupiter station, under human control. He slammed his fist on the table. "They were waiting for us to get comfortable," he said. "We thought they were weak. We gave them time to grow strong." His officer looked pale. "Sir, the human scout. He's alive. He's leading the Earth defense." Vakareth's hands clenched into fists. Find him. Kill him. But it wasn't so easy now. In the shadows of Earth, humans were no longer hiding. They were hunting. Rourke watched live feeds of their counterattack. Everything was working exactly as planned. He had shown the aliens a fake weakness. They had fallen for it. Now, Earth had the advantage. He remembered what the alien general said during his capture. "Your armies are gone. Your world is ours." Now, Rourke smiled. He whispered, "Not quite." The last command for the day came from Admiral Hale. "Open the Skygate." In high orbit, something massive began to turn. It had been hidden inside an old asteroid, completely disguised. Now it unfolded like a flower made of metal. A giant portal device. The Skygate. Energy built inside it. From far edges of the solar system, larger human carriers began to jump through the gate, bringing more troops, more machines, and something special. A super weapon still unknown to the aliens. The war wasn't over. It had just begun. And this time, Earth was not defending. Earth was attacking. Deep under the ruined cities of Earth, a quiet hum echoed through the tunnels. Hidden for years, the old bunkers were now full of life again. Lights flickered on, machines started moving, and voices filled the halls. This was Sanctuary 9, one of Earth's secret underground cities. Above the surface, aliens still searched for Commander Rourke. They sent drones, patrol ships, and even large walkers into the ruins. But they found nothing. The human signals had vanished. Their scanners showed empty streets and dead systems. But below, Earth was very much alive. Children ran through steel corridors. Engineers worked on machines. Soldiers trained in silence. These people had lived underground for years, waiting, surviving, preparing. They had heard the war above, felt the ground shake, and watched the skies go red. But they had never lost hope. They believed in the return. And now it had begun. Commander Rourke walked through the main corridor of Sanctuary 9. People stopped and looked at him. Some whispered. Some saluted. He was no longer just a scout. He was the sign that Earth was fighting back. Beside him walked Dr. Lena Vos, a lead scientist who had designed many of Earth's hidden technologies. "They're scared, aren't they?" Rourke asked. "Yes," she said. "But not of us." He raised an eyebrow. "They're scared of what we've become," she said. "They thought they destroyed Earth, but all they did was push us underground. We didn't die. We evolved." They stepped into a large room filled with glass walls and strange devices. Inside one chamber was a tall, quiet figure, not quite human, not quite machine. It stood still, eyes closed. "This is Echo One," Dr. Vos said. "Part of Project Resurrection." Rourke stared. "It's a clone." "Not just a clone," she replied. "It's a hybrid. Human brain, eye body, memories from fallen soldiers uploaded into a new form. You brought them back." She nodded. "Pieces of them, yes, and they remember everything." Outside, Across the planet, more underground cities came online. Each one activated drones, launched small fighter teams, and sent out silent signals. The surface world looked dead, but it wasn't. It was a trap. And the aliens had walked straight into it. Alien General Vakrith paced inside his temporary war room. Reports kept coming in. Bases going dark. Soldiers missing. Enemy strikes coming from unknown locations. The humans had disappeared and reappeared stronger than before. He slammed his claws onto the table. We had them. We won. His advisor didn't speak. They were ashes. They were broken. Now they hit like fire. Still, the advisor stayed quiet. Vakrith turned and growled. Say something. The advisor finally spoke. We forgot the one rule of war, General. Vakrith narrowed his eyes. And what is that? Never trust silence. In space, the sky gate opened wider. More ships arrived. Human warships that had been hiding in the asteroid belt. Carriers from Mars colonies. Even support from Earth's first deep space outposts. But it wasn't just ships. Inside the carriers were enhanced soldiers, part human, part machine, designed for fast strikes and zero-fear combat. They called themselves the Echo Division, born in secret, raised for war. Rourke watched the first of them deploy from orbit. He knew what was coming next. Full surface reclaim. It was time to take Earth back. He stood in front of a large screen and spoke to all bunkers and all ships at once. This is Commander Rourke. Today, we stop hiding. Today, we show them what Earth really is. Not a dead planet. Not a forgotten rock. We are still here. And we remember everything. The message was short, but powerful. Across the ruins, hidden speakers came alive. The message echoed through the empty streets. Aliens turned their heads. And then the humans attacked. Drones rose from the ground. Missiles launched from under rubble. Tanks hidden in old subways rolled out. The surface of Earth came alive like a sleeping beast waking up. Alien ships were hit from below. Alien patrols were ambushed. In one city, a huge alien walker was walking near a broken stadium. From under the field, a giant cannon rose and fired. The walker exploded in a flash of blue fire. From orbit, Admiral Hale watched the battle unfold. It's working, an officer said. Hale nodded. They never heard the Earth's heartbeat, but now they do. On the moon, alien outposts lost power. Their weapons turned against them. Human eye had hacked their systems. In every place the aliens once held, they were now running. Back in Sanctuary 9, Rourke looked at the stars through a deep core viewer. They thought Earth was quiet, he said. Dr. Voss replied, it was never quiet. It was listening. Rourke smiled. And now, it speaks. Alien General Vakrith stood inside the command room of his main ship, Braxian. The room was cold and quiet. Screens showed chaos. Human forces were attacking everywhere, on Earth, on the moon, even in the skies above Mars. His elite patrols were missing. His drones weren't answering. His backup fleets were either cut off or destroyed. He had never felt this before. Fear. All around him, officers worked in silence. None dared to speak. They all knew what had happened. They had underestimated the humans. They believed Earth was broken. But the silence they thought meant weakness had only been a shield, a trap. And now, that silence was falling. Where are the scout ships? Vakrith demanded. Gone, sir, the officer replied. We believe they were intercepted. One sent a distress signal, but it was cut off mid-sentence. Vakrith slammed his fist into the table. They are everywhere. How? Back on Earth, Commander Rourke moved through the ruins of an old human base that had been taken by aliens months ago. Now it was being reclaimed. Human drones buzzed through the air, scanning every wall, while small defense units set up new shields and turrets. Behind him, Echo Division soldiers cleared the area. Some of them looked human. some didn't. Metal arms, glowing eyes, armor built into their bodies. They had been made in silence during Earth's darkest days. They felt no fear, no pain, only purpose. Rourke looked around the base. "This used to be ours," he said. An Echo soldier nodded. "And it will be again." From the sky, human ships began to land. Supplies dropped. Engineers jumped out and started repairs. Civilians, hiding underground for years, slowly came up to the surface. For the first time in a long time, the air felt lighter. There was hope. But the fight wasn't over. Not yet. In orbit, Admiral Hale watched alien ships try to retreat. They were leaving the planet, trying to escape to their nearest base near Saturn. But they didn't know about the Skygate. "Open Gate 2, Hale ordered. A second jump portal activated, this one above Saturn's orbit. Within seconds, human ships were waiting. They intercepted the escaping alien forces and hit hard. Missiles, EMP blasts, and railguns fired all at once. Alien ships broke apart in silence. Vakreth saw the reports. "No," he whispered. "They knew we would run." He looked at the growing list of fallen alien bases. One by one, they were blinking red on the screen. Earth was not just surviving. It was hunting. He called his top generals. "We need to regroup, fall back to the shadow zone, rebuild and return." But the message didn't go through. Human cyber units had cut their communication links. They were isolated. Back on Earth, in the underground control room, Rourke stood in front of a large screen. Cities were being lit again. Power grids were returning. One area at a time, Earth was coming back to life. Dr. Lena Vos joined him. She showed him something new, a decoded alien file from Rourke's early capture. "They were studying us," she said. "They had no plan to leave Earth. They'd wanted to use it, change it, turn it into one of their colonies," Rourke said. She nodded. "And wipe out every human trace." Rourke's face turned cold. "Then we don't just win. We erase them." On the moon, the last alien base tried to hold its ground. They locked their doors, powered up all weapons, and prepared for a siege. But instead of a long battle, the humans sent a small squad of Echo units. In just 17 minutes, the entire base was silent. Not a single alien survived. The humans had learned. They no longer fought with numbers. They fought with precision, speed, and perfect knowledge. General Vakreth stood on the deck of his ship. He looked out the window at Earth, now glowing with fires. Fires started by his invasion, now burning with revenge. "We never should have come here," he said to himself. Behind him, one of his captains approached. "We received a message." Vakreth turned slowly. "From who?" "Commander Rourke." Vakreth stared for a long moment. "Play it." The screen lit up. Rourke appeared, calm, direct. "You came to end us," he said. "But Earth doesn't end. We adapt. We hide. And then we rise." The screen cut to black. Vakreth looked at the stars. He knew what was coming. This war was over. But the humans, they were just getting started. Earth had fallen once, but never again. Dark clouds moved over Earth. Not natural ones, but shadows from the sky. Massive alien ships, black as night, blocking out the sun. This was the last fleet. Vakreth had called them from deep space. Reinforcements, his final hope. Above the clouds in Earth's orbit, hundreds of alien warships were gathering. Bigger, stronger, more advanced than anything seen before. They had weapons powerful enough to break mountains. They had armies trained to destroy without mercy. But Earth was ready. Inside the Skygate control room, Admiral Hale stood beside her officers. Everyone was calm, focused. She looked at the incoming enemy fleet and spoke one word: "Let them come." In the bunkers below, Commander Rourke prepared Echo Division for battle. The hybrid soldiers were already uploading new mission data. Their eyes glowed blue in the darkness. "This is it," Rourke said. They're throwing everything at us. Good, an echo replied. That saves us the trouble of hunting them down. The moon had already been secured by humans. The Mars colony was now a strong base. The asteroid belt had been turned into a trap field filled with hidden cannons and defense drones. But Earth, they knew, was where the final battle would be. Vakareth stood on the command deck of his new warship, the Unmaker. It was 5 times larger than any ship humans had seen. Its engines could crush small satellites. Its main gun could level an entire city with one shot. Earth fights like no other race, Vakareth growled. But this ends now. He gave the order. Attack. The alien fleet moved as one. Thousands of fighters rushed forward, backed by cruisers and capital ships. From space, they looked like a swarm of black insects pouring down on Earth. But they were not alone. Just as the swarm reached low orbit, the clouds opened, and human ships rose. From Earth, from the moon, from the hidden sky gates. They came fast and silent. They didn't look like the old Earth ships the aliens remembered. These were new, sleeker, deadlier, equipped with cloaking shields and EMP cores. And they were ready. In orbit, the 2 fleets crashed together. Explosions lit up the sky like fireworks. Missiles screamed. Lasers cut across the black void. Human fighters moved in perfect formations. Each move planned. Each strike calculated. Alien ships fell like burning stars. Vakareth watched in shock. They've evolved again. Back on Earth, alien drop pods landed in destroyed cities. Troops poured out, firing, breaking walls, trying to take control. But the moment they touched the ground, hidden turrets activated. Underground drones shot up from the soil. Traps buried years ago exploded under their feet. And from the shadows came the Echo Division. Silent. Deadly. One Echo soldier walked straight through enemy fire. Bullets bounced off his armor. He grabbed an alien soldier and crushed its weapon with one hand. Another Echo jumped from a rooftop, landing in the middle of a group, and in seconds, only smoke remained. Rourke fought beside them, not from behind, but on the front line. His armor glowed, and his rifle pulsed with energy. He moved like a ghost, fast, controlled, unstoppable. Alien forces were strong, but Earth's fury was stronger. In orbit, the Unmaker charged its main weapon, a huge blast of energy built in its core, aimed at Earth's surface. Inside Human Command, an officer shouted, "They're targeting Sanctuary 9. Admiral Hale didn't blink, then hit them first. She turned to her lead gunner. "Fire the Odin cannon." From a disguised space platform, a weapon powered by a captured black hole opened fire. A white-hot beam of compressed gravity shot across the stars. It hit the Unmaker just as its gun reached full power. The alien flagship cracked down the middle. Vakareth's command room shook violently. Lights flickered. Sparks flew from the walls. "Redirect power," he shouted. But it was too late. A second beam struck. Then a third. The ship split apart, exploding in silence as the vacuum of space swallowed the fire. Back on Earth, the last alien ground forces tried to retreat, but they were trapped, surrounded, hunted. In one final act of desperation, the aliens triggered a beacon, calling for more help. But nothing came. Rourke stood on top of a ruined tower, looking at the night sky. The battle in orbit was ending. The stars were clear again. He clicked on his comm. "Admiral Hale, it's done." She responded, voice steady. "Good work, Commander. Earth stands." In cities across the world, humans began coming up from bunkers. They looked at the skies and saw no ships, no fire, no fear, just stars. Children who had never seen the sun felt it on their faces. The silence had finally ended. But it wasn't just a victory. It was a warning. To anyone out there, Earth is not weak. Earth remembers. and Earth fights back. The sky was finally quiet. No alien ships, no fire, no shadows, just the soft light of stars shining over a healing Earth. In the days after the final battle, human forces moved across every corner of the planet. They cleared out the last remains of alien tech. They reopened cities, turned power grids back on, and began rebuilding what was lost. But this time, they weren't just rebuilding Earth. They were preparing for the future. In the heart of Sanctuary 9, Commander Rourke stood before a large screen. It showed a map of Earth. Blue dots marked new communication towers, defense shields, and rebuilt zones. The red areas were fading. Victory was real. Dr. Lena Vos joined him. "Still no alien signals," she said. Rourke nodded. "We finished it." "They thought you were just a scout," she added, smiling. Rourke looked at her, remembering the beginning. "That's what saved us." People across the world came out of hiding. Cities once ruined were filled with voices, music, and light. Flags were raised again. Families reunited. And across the planet, a single word was whispered in every language: home. But Earth's leaders knew peace wouldn't last forever. Somewhere out there, others might be watching, curious, waiting, or planning. So Earth sent a message. In orbit, the Sky Gate opened once more, not for war, but for signal transmission. Huge satellites powered by solar arrays turned toward deep space. A new message was prepared. Not hidden, not encrypted. A message meant to be heard. Rourke stood in the center of the Sky Gate's control deck. He looked at the camera and began to speak. His voice was calm, strong, clear. "This is Earth. You came to conquer us. You thought we were weak. You thought we were broken. You thought one man was all that was left. You were wrong." He paused. "You met a scout. But behind that scout stood a world, a people, a fire you couldn't put out." Images appeared with his voice, clips from the war. Alien ships exploding, humans rising from bunkers, echo soldiers defending children, ships launching, planets lighting up. "You came to destroy us. But we are still here. We fought back. We stood together. And we won." He stepped forward. "This is a warning to all who may be watching, to all who think Earth is alone. We are not, and we never were." The screen faded to black, and the stars listened. The message echoed across space, past distant moons, past cold planets, into the deep, where others listened. Some were allies, some were enemies, some were undecided. Now they knew. Earth had changed. On the moon, a memorial was built, a circle of stone and steel. Inside, names of the fallen glowed softly. Soldiers, scientists, civilians, even echo units who had given their lives to protect the future. People came there to remember. Rourke stood in front of one name, Mira Rourke. His sister, lost in the early days of the invasion. He hadn't spoken her name in years, but now he did. He placed his hand on the name. "This was for you," he whispered. Admiral Hale arrived beside him. "The council has voted," she said. "You're being promoted. Fleet Marshal." Rourke shook his head. "I'm not a leader." "You are now," she replied. The Sky Gate, once a secret, now became Earth's gateway to the stars. Ships were being built for exploration, not just war. Colonies on Mars and Europa were expanding. Humanity was stepping out, not to conquer, but to be ready. Echo Division remained active, not in hiding this time, but as a symbol. The defenders of peace. Their motto was simple: strike first, fall never. Dr. Vos worked on new tech, clean energy, faster space travel, better healing machines. War had forced humans to evolve. Now, they used that knowledge to build a better world. Children born underground now played in sunlight. The silence had truly ended. One night, Rourke sat alone, looking at the stars. He wondered if the galaxy would forget this war. If anyone would remember what it took, the pain, the fear, the courage. He knew one thing: Earth would never forget, and it would never be caught sleeping again. Somewhere, in a far-off system, an alien commander played back the human message. He watched the calm face. He saw the fire in the human eyes. He turned to his second-in-command. "Should we respond?" The officer shook his head. "Not yet." They both looked at the stars. "I thought Earth was soft," the commander said. "It was," the officer replied. "Now it's steel." Back on Earth, life went on. Work received one last message from Echo Command. A simple report. Mission complete. Planet secured. Humanity restored. He closed the screen, smiled, and walked into the morning light.